Jiminy
Years
Christmas.
ago,
That's crazy.
twice. There was one year it snowed on like the 15th, and then a couple of years ago it snowed on like the 3rd.
Right.
Out of my 47 years on this planet, I've only seen twice that it snowed before Halloween.
Mm-mm-mm.
In Michigan, I always had to get
My
Ashley and Alyssa Halloween costumes that they could wear over a winter coat.
You know what? We used to have to do that too. Hey, Jake, how's it going? Hey, Remy, how's it going? Let me get everything popped up here. We'll be doing, we are doing restreams, so we will be definitely, pull up the chat app, and we'll be doing it right. All right. Here we go. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Mouse Toes. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Patricia. Hello, everybody. Well, 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 well. We got quite the show for you today. Hey, love my dandelion. Uh-huh. So we are also over on
YouTube and DLive.
DLive also, yeah. Yep. Let me put that over here. Let me pop that out. Hey, Blue-Eyed Diva, hello. You guys, it has been one of those flippin' days. I'm telling you what, if I could redo it, I would. I would. That's just the way it is. If I could redo it, I would. Hey, Aaron. Let me see. First of all, what we're going to do is, Ghost and I were just talking about this. Hey, Joy. Patricia, so I started a group in Twitter called Fact Checker. And what I need is I need a group of people that are willing to come in there and check facts. You know, get the paperwork, check the facts, make sure everything is correct. I don't like going off of he said, she said.
Right.
We just don't like doing that because, you know, it's just not good to do that. So Joy is in that group. I know Hannah is, but I need to get Hannah's Twitter so I can send her a link. Hey, Manderlin, how you doing, baby? Long time no see. Remy has a question. Little question not involving the case. Okay, go ahead, babe. I'm listening. I am listening. So if anybody would like to join this little group, and it's just strictly to check facts, not only on this case, but on any case that we do. You know, if I need the court records for so-and-so, you are looking like lost a bit of weight, hon, looking good. Thank you very much, Manderlin. I just love you, honey. I've been watching your streams. I've been lurking. You and Steph Brown.
Or if there's any updates in cases that we haven't heard about yet, they can put them in there.
Yes.
In there,
Here's what's happening. And it's just like what happened today. I can sit and I can watch these. I know you had surgeries. Did you suffer bad itchy skin? Because I've tried everything to make it better. Well, yes, I did, but that was from the tape. I was allergic to the tape. Try some Benadryl, honey. Hey, Hillbilly. Try some Benadryl and see if that helps. If it doesn't, depending on where you're itching at, you know, if it's on the site or if it's all over your body. But try some Benadryl, sweetie. I love you too, babe. I will. I do a lot of lurking, but I do watch you, sweetheart. Manderlin. Manderlin. That name reminds me of somebody who wants to be like a hillbilly. Manderlin, I've been watching you. Okay, all right, Hannibal Banna. You're welcome, Remy. But anyway, it's just like today. I had a lot of personal things on. I wasn't even on the internet today. Not even. I'm telling you, it's been a bad day. And thank God, Ghost was watching a 3-hour stream. I was not. I did not follow up on it because I just had a lot of real life stuff going on here. Hillbilly.
Well, we can always start off what we know that's happened since the last time we were live.
Right.
Has been an arrest warrant issued. Now, it's not for questioning in the death of Gabby. The arrest warrant is actually for him using her debit cards.
Right. And I can bring that up and show you what that's all about.
Also, she's been ruled a homicide, not a murder.
Well, we knew that last time we went live. Yeah.
So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you. There is an arrest warrant out for him. Okay, and it is, we're going to go here. And I will share it. And as you can see, can you guys see that now? Is it popping up?
Yep.
Hopefully. Okay. So this is from the FBI. It's issued by the FBI. And it is United States of America versus Brian Christopher Laundrie. Thank you, Natalie. Bless your little heart. Thank you so much. This is federal, so USA-wide, they look for him and arrest him. Exactly. And, okay, honey. Thank you, Manderlin. Hello, Ramblin' Hick. Once again, mods, we don't take any prisoners in here. They're out. You know the routine, mouse toes. I don't have to tell you more than once. So what they did was they have an arrest warrant out for him, and it is for the use of unauthorized access of devices. Now, people will go, what's that? Maybe he used her cell phone? No. And this, by the way, was issued on the 22nd. Today is the 24th. So I will show you what it's for. Right here. There you see Mr. Laundrie himself. He is in Pooler, Georgia, using paying for product with a credit or debit card.
There's them flip-flops we was looking at. So
there's those flip-flops, exactly. Exactly. So what he has done is he has bought a total of up to $1,000 in goods. Okay? And that is why they've got an arrest warrant out for him. Using... Hey, Carol. Hey, everybody.
Well, they've narrowed down a time of death to around the 27th, 28th, 29th window, like a 3-day window. And when he used this credit card would have been post-death.
Right.
Which is what makes it highly suspicious. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is also making him a person of interest in the homicide of Gabby. But he's not there. There's no warrant for that. The warrant right now is only for the using of her debit card.
And the reason why they've done this also is because as of right now, he is a person of interest. All right? Still a person of interest. But now that he's got a federal arrest warrant out for him. Okay, say for instance they found him before this warrant. If they found him, they would not be able to just take him in handcuffs because he's only a person of interest at this time. With this warrant, though, they can arrest him. Let's say, for instance, yesterday, before this warrant, he just pops up and says, hey, here I am. I want to go home. They'd have to take him home. They couldn't arrest him. Right. Now that they have this warrant out for him, they will be able to arrest him, and not only that, they will be able to hold him. Now, hello, Gabby.
Another thing that we learned that yesterday, while we weren't reporting on this, the parents had to make a trip to Orlando. Now, for a little while, they didn't say why they had to go to Orlando, or, there was a lot of speculation out there. But later on, it was reported that they had to go down there to Orlando because Brian's attorney flew into Orlando and they went to meet with his attorney. Now, Uber found out today that Brian's attorney dropped them.
The family attorney dropped them.
The family attorney dropped them.
The family attorney dropped them.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I haven't gotten clarification. I did hear that on WFLA. So I would tell you guys, if you want to find, no, the family is not rich, and lawyers do cost per hour. Exactly. Hiya.
Well,
Falling angels, Carol.
Now that this arrest warrant is in place, too, a lot of people are asking, what's going on with the parents? Can they be held liable for this or that? Or can they be arrested for trying to cover anything up? I actually have a video for that. You want me to share it?
Sure.
It's only about 3 minutes long.
Yeah, please do.
Let me pull up that video.
That'll clarify a little bit of confusion about, why they're, being arrested and stuff.
Because there's laws to protect the parents, but there's loopholes in those laws that just watch the video here.
Yeah, there's loopholes within this law that'll help you guys understand why they can't be arrested and why even now they can't be pulled in. Ghost Rider, hello.
Let me get this.
Have you been watching this stuff on Summer Wells? Yes, I have been, Carol. I did pull something up about that today, too.
Here we go.
Abby Petito's family plans to lay the 22-year-old to rest.
Yes,
The world are on the search for Brian Laundrie.
His home was searched by the FBI on Monday, aiming some of the focus on his parents. We wanted to know how the law can impact parents when their children are implicated in a case like this. 8 on your Sun investigator Walt Buteau joining us now with some insight from local defense attorneys.
And this continues to be a homicide investigation without a charge or without a suspect. And we found out the law protects parents in some cases unless they cross a legal line. Brian Laundrie's parents, Christopher and Roberta, were seen leaving their home this morning, followed by police officers. It's now been days since they last saw their son, according to police.
It is very sad, Joy.
Reserved for 5 out of the last 6 days. Tampa attorney Corey Baird tells me the law did not forbid police from watching Laundrie before his parents say he went to this 25,000-acre preserve.
They could have put a car out in front of his house. They could have followed him if he left.
Right.
You need to have a warrant to do that. That's just part of a criminal investigation.
While the law would not have stopped police surveillance of the 23-year-old, the Laundries are also not legally required to tell police what they know about their son's location, according to attorney Bryant Camarena.
There's no obligation for anyone, a family member, a civilian, to say, oh, I know where he's at, or, hey, by the way, so-and-so is taking the first flight out to Mexico. The citizens are obligated to do so.
Speaking hypothetically, Baird tells me...
Let's stop that for just a minute. Remember, we got to commentate on this.
Right.
So, remember what he said. There is nothing stopping them from saying anything about where their son is at. Okay?
But there's nothing stopping them from not saying anything either.
Well, you would think. So, okay, let's continue now.
In fact, in alleged crimes involving their children, but he says covering something up can lead to charges.
If they made misleading statements or lied to law enforcement officers, obviously that's a crime in Florida, and they are not protected from that.
Also, hypothetically, Camarena says there's a federal statute that does not.
Or Sister Earth?
If someone.
Exactly, Sister Earth, exactly.
Crime and you do your best to cover it up or don't report it, then that could be a federal crime in and of itself.
See, and that's what that's
Investigator of the Petito homicide case, and Laundrie remains a person of interest, not a suspect.
Yeah, but this idea of accessories after the fact and the federal law and what parents can and can't kind of get away with, because you're a parent, you want to protect your child.
Absolutely.
But I mean,
dearly.
wow.
There is a line, and the federal law does not have the exemption for parents, but then the question is, especially in this case, with so many areas, is the jurisdiction, is it a federal crime? Where would the parents have allegedly broken that accessory law in this particular case?
Mm-hmm. The timeline will become very important at that point.
It's filling in by the day, right? But obviously very important.
Thank you, Walt.
Thank you, Walt.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So what they're saying there, guys, is that they don't have to say anything.
But,
There's not going to be any charges. But, yeah, go ahead.
But if they find out that the parents knew any information after the fact, they could be charged as an accessory after the fact.
Right. Yep. Now, today, actually about 2 hours ago, and I'll share this here. Matter of fact, I just saw this when we were getting ready to go live, that this popped up. Now, Brian Enton is a reporter, which I highly recommend you guys follow him on Twitter. And the cops showed up at the laundry's house, and some officers went to the door, others at the back door. So here we go. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows.
Watching backyards and everything. I mean,
Yeah, they went to the back door. They went everywhere.
to me, it almost looks like.
Oh, Virginia.
Now, I do know that when they were searching for Brian Laundrie today, they moved the focus of the search from where they were yesterday in that park. And this park is 25,000 acres. It's over 10 miles across, right? They moved the focus to the back east corner, which is only like, I think they said 2 miles from his parents' home, and started searching that area of the reserve. I'm wondering if maybe they thought, or somebody seen him in that area and they thought he could backwoods it to the back of his house or
Right.
something like that. And maybe they went to the house searching to see if he came home to get food or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what this looks like. That looks like they're canvassing the neighborhood. They check the back door. They're walking the streets, looking in people's backyards. Look, there's 2 officers over there by the neighbor's house watching the backyards. You know, they're looking for him.
Virginia, Wolf, hello. Remy said supposedly someone called the cops saying they saw Brian. They're looking for a weapon, I bet. Well, I don't know. So here, let's go on. Now, I do want to say this. Now, there will be a memorial on Sunday from 12 to 5 at Maloney's Holbrook Funeral Home, and it will be open to the public. So just so you know, there will be a memorial visit. Her funeral, Gabby's funeral, will be Monday from what I understand. Okay. So they're just waiting for the Norfolk police. Past him, what are you doing? Hateful Voices said, I don't know. He stepped away. I hurried to my car, jumping in. Let me see. Is this confirmed? So what the heck is this? Okay, Dusty's post. See, I'm just getting to this because I haven't even been on this stuff. Yes, in New York. I'm almost 100% sure I had a face-to-face encounter with Brian at the Exxon Mobil gas station in West Yellowstone on September 19th at 10:30 in the morning. He come walking up beside the back of the building. I was walking across the parking lot. He watched me the entire time. I walked up to the point, double checked to make sure I locked my car. He went in one door. I walked further down and went into another set of doors. When we got to the counter, he stepped in front of me. He was buying an entire case of protein bars at a gas station. When he turned around, he looked into my eyes. I stepped back and felt weird. When I came out of the station, he was waiting for me between the two sets of doors. I passed him and he started walking with me. I said, "What are you doing?" in a hateful voice. He said, "I don't know." He stepped away and I hurried to my car, jumping in and locking it. He stood and stared as I drove away. As I looked up the rear view, As I looked up in the rear view, he had walked towards the alley but was turned around and was staring again. He was carrying a backpack, had weird shoes like sandals, and it was snowing. He had a dark blue jogger style pants on, a white t-shirt, plaid shirt over the top. It was half unbuttoned. He had on a dark cap on. His hair was dark. I remember dark thick eyebrows and chin hair, brown eyes. He smelled dirty. He was taller than me. I'm 5'6". He was medium build. I drove into the park and headed towards the Tetons. I was stopped and asked to turn around when I reached the pass because they had found her body. Well, he was already gone, so this couldn't have been. September
19th. Yeah.
Now that's something ain't right there. Yeah. Something ain't right there.
That's way after the timeline. She was reported missing on September 11th.
Exactly.
And he was back in Florida by that time.
September 1st. Yeah. So that's something completely different.
I mean, if he did run into him in Yellowstone or where did that say it was?
That was in Yellowstone.
If he did run into him in Yellowstone, then that's where he would have to have run to. You know what I mean?
Right. That's September 19th. Hell, that's way, way past. Okay, here's our full story special that aired tonight on Gabby Petito's case. So I've got that pulled up. Let me see. Right here, I'm going to put the link in the chat. I am not looking at the chat, guys, so please forgive me for the time being. He's 5'8", Miles Toast said. That is the link right here. It's 42 minutes long. Petito case, news station special report. This report, from what I understand, will give you the answers to the death. Her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, is missing after they named a person of interest in her disappearance. How did we get here and what could happen next? So I highly recommend that you watch this, which is what I will watch also. I have not seen it yet. So we definitely will be watching that. Okay. So let's go back to back to this. Okay, so update, police say around 6:45 they received a report of gunshots in the area of Brian Laundrie's home from an unknown number. Police responded and found no evidence any shots were fired. Also, no one heard gunshots. So this is a live FBI agent, Jeffner Coffindaffer, outside the Laundrie's home. Let's see what she's got to say.
These are my followers, yeah. And they should be joining right now. Hold on one second. Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure the connection is okay.
Hi, Laced.
Can you guys hear me okay?
This is a former FBI agent, guys. Don't let me down now. It must have been his... What? Oh no.
That ain't no good.
Yeah. Hang on. What happened to that? Did that go down?
That looks that way.
Huh. He must have took that down. So anyway, new series, Missing in America. Okay. Let me see.
I did see earlier that Gabby Petito's family and friends
Hi, Sandy.
are now doing bracelets. It's prayers for Gabby bracelets, and I don't know where the link is for that or anything like that.
Okay, let me tell you about that. So while I was watching, I did watch a few minutes of it this morning. While I was watching WFLA, JB had a FaceTime visit with Gabby's mother. And Gabby's mother is the one making these, and they've only been made for family and for special friends, which they've been watching WFLA, and so they sent them to. So they are not for the public at this time and point. They may be later. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's what I thought maybe that they would do something like that, because I know the father today purchased a stone placard or like a tombstone type thing to place at the place where her remains had been found as a monument.
Well, actually, I happen to have that photograph of where he's placed the stones. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you brought that up. Right here it is. So as you can see, this was the stepdad that left this.
Yeah, he's actually he purchased a headstone to be placed there.
Right.
They can't place it there until after the investigation is over with.
Right. But this is where Gabby was found, right here. So that's sad, isn't it? So let me go back to this investigator. Her name is Jennifer Coffendaffer, but for some reason,
play.
And speak up for me too.
Yes, I do, and I base that on the fact that his family has hired an attorney. Why do they need an attorney if he's deceased? Second, I base it on the fact that they took that trip right when he returned, preceding his disappearance.
Oh yeah. Well, let me stop this for a minute. Did you know? Oh, Sandy, I love you too. That the Laundrie family, mom and dad and Brian, all went on a 3-day camping trip after he returned?
Nope, I had not.
Yes. Yes, they did with that camper right there. Yes, they did.
I mean,
that's been
confirmed for sure. I mean,
yes, it's been confirmed. That's what she's just talking about now. It has been confirmed.
What about what about the trip home and all that? Has that been confirmed yet?
Trip home from what, honey?
To get the stuff out of the storage unit or whatever.
No, that's not been confirmed. Mm-mm. Nope. So I don't know.
Right now, there's a lot of stuff being left out of the timeline, like this trip. This is the first I've heard about this trip.
Yep, right here. She's talking about it now. Here we go. Let's talk about it.
Yes, I do, and I base that on the fact that his family has hired an attorney. Why do they need an attorney if he's deceased? Second, I base it on the fact that they took that trip right when he returned, preceding his disappearance. And I believe that that's very possible. They were setting up his situation so that he could go into seclusion. And I believe he's alive.
So hold on, let me just take my phone case off. It's overheated. Okay.
That's a beautiful sticker.
Do you think the parents are involved? The parents in this house right now?
I think the parents are withholding information regarding his whereabouts, regarding what happened out there. I think they have a close relationship with their son, and I think it is very probable that they have information that would lead to law enforcement claims.
What would it take for the FBI to come here and arrest the parents?
Oh, that would take overt acts that they would have had to commit in aiding and abetting him being gone. So, as an example, if they find that they took large cash withdrawals out of their account, if they find that they actually helped him get a cellular phone that is untraceable,
Yeah.
trash phone, something
Brantley,
along
hi,
that
honey.
could lead to a charge.
How are you?
Okay, I'm going to start asking some of your guys questions. So, some of questions. Someone just asked, do you think he'll turn himself in?
Nope.
Why not?
He's gone to too great of lengths right now to be gone.
Yep.
And I think he knows in Wyoming, if he's charged by the state, they have the death penalty if he's found guilty of killing her. Secondarily, the best case scenario, if he is found guilty, would be a life sentence. And I don't think there's any
I don't know what you're hearing.
They're asking me, can they seize the parents' red pickup truck behind you to look at the GPS where the parents were?
Possibly.
Yep.
Possibly, yes. If they show probable cause.
I love you too, baby.
Yes.
Hey,
Someone is
Davo.
asking, do you think he's at the wildlife reserve?
I don't.
Hi,
I
Keith.
don't think he's there. I think that that was a ruse that was set up by him and then propagated by the parents.
Okay, so they also said,
A long period.
and I have to remember where I found it and go back to it. They also said that he did not take his wallet or his cell phone. So keep that in mind. When he left that Tuesday, he did not take his wallet or cell phone.
Yeah, but you can pick up a burner phone for $20 at any Family Dollar that's a track phone.
Exactly.
It comes with, 250 minutes on it.
And if that's the case that he didn't take his wallet, did he leave all his IDs and stuff in it? If that's the case, then he wasn't planning on going too far.
Well, think about this. Okay, so why would you purposely leave your wallet behind? Well, if I get pulled over, if I get caught, and they go, "Who are you?" I could say, "Well, I'm John Smith from blah, 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 Baker Street."
Right?
You have any ID on you? No, I don't, officer.
Right?
Well, now they have to take you in and run your fingerprints to find out who the hell you are.
Right?
But if it's just a misdemeanor type thing where they're going to give you a warning and let you go, you could slip through the dragnet, so to speak.
Right. I'm going to ask everybody, please share this out. He needs picture ID, clearly does not want his ID with real name. Absolutely, Mouse Toast. Absolutely. We can speculate. The parents were gone 3 days, like this profiler is saying. Possibly that, within those 3 days, they were setting this whole thing up. They go camping for 3 days, come back, and then Brian.
Let me ask you. Now, I know he has a sister. Does he have a brother too?
No.
How many siblings are there?
Just him and his sister.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to say, I've known people that have purposely left their wallets behind, got pulled over, and then gave them their brother's information and passed themselves off as their brother to get out of trouble. You know what I mean?
Right. Good idea. Good idea, Hillbilly. Hillbilly says he could have a fake ID, another wallet, etc. Could very well be. But I think that, like this gal said, they went for those 3 days. I think they were setting all this up. Here we go.
Let me see here. I'm just going through here. How can they live in the house if it's a crime scene? I don't think it's technically a crime scene, right?
It's not a crime scene. There was no crime committed there. There just might be indicia of the crime there. And that is why they searched there. They showed probable cause that indicia of the crime could be there.
Do you think he went into hiding after his parents took him in the camper? There's apparently this camper trip.
Right. The camper trip, by the timeline I'm aware of, happened right before the disappearance. The disappearance was on the 14th.
Yep.
Where did they take this trip to?
That's just it. They don't know. Or the police know, the FBI knows, and not saying anything. That's why they were asking if the GPS can be pulled off the truck. Yes, he did come back with the parents, Sandy. Yes.
We know that for sure, though.
Yeah, the neighbors saw him, and then the parents said that he took off Tuesday to go meditate, was what he said. Okay, so what happened, Sandy, was he took that Mustang, said he was going to go meditate. So when he took the Mustang on Tuesday, Wednesday, he had a note put on it by the police saying he needed to remove the vehicle from that area. The parents were notified and went and well, no, he hadn't returned yet. The parents went and looked where he said he was going to go, and the Mustang was there, along with the note that the police said you need to remove this vehicle.
My theory is that he didn't take the Mustang. I think his dad dropped it off there to, remember the parents told the FBI that he went to this place to meditate.
Yeah.
Well, what if the dad took the Mustang down there and parked it in that parking lot to corroborate their story of, well, he's in this place here, look, there's the vehicle, kind of thing.
Right.
I don't think he took the vehicle down there in the first place. I think one of the parents took it down there and dropped him off, and the other parent brought him back to the house.
What? How does that happen? One parent takes him, one brings him back? What are you talking about?
I'm saying the father drove the Mustang down there. The mother followed him down there. They dropped off the Mustang. The father gets in the car with the mother, and she drives the father home. And then they said, well, he took the Mustang there. Brian.
And then they drove back and picked it up and brought it back?
Well, they had to.
I don't know.
Story alive, you know what I mean? Oh, well, we were there on Wednesday, and we seen a note from the cops saying that it had to be out of there.
Hello, I love my
we
creative.
Went back and got it.
I don't know.
One thing is, we know that the parents had a key to the Mustang for sure because they went and picked it up, right?
Right. We'd make terrible sleuths, wouldn't we? Oh, I don't know. I think we'd make pretty good Sherlock Holmes. Here we go. Let's go.
I can honestly say that none of my parents or anybody I know has a spare key to my car. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I always keep a spare key here just in case anybody needs it. Who's to say it's his car?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought the Mustang was the family car, was like the parents' car, and he was just
the mom's
using
car. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Country can he be brought back?
It depends which country. We have extradition with several of the countries, but not all of the countries. So completely dependent on.
Got more questions here. Can he leave the country given the warrant?
Yep, exactly, Joy.
Could he get on a plane?
Nope.
He can't get on a plane using his identification.
Nope.
No. But could he get on a plane using other identification?
Yep.
Okay. The autopsy. So the autopsy was done in Wyoming. They released the cause of death as homicide, but no, we don't know any specifics. How she died, when she died, how long.
It's in the mother's name and hers. He just used it.
Yep. A while, not for them to have the knowledge. I think they have the knowledge now. I think it will take a while before that information is released, because that is the key to the case in large part. Was it a gunshot? Was she strangled? Was she strangled with a ligature? What exactly does she have DNA under her nails? Was there a struggle that took place? There's so much information from that autopsy that's going to lead to answering many.
It's another Delphi where they don't tell you how it was done.
But I'm going to ask you because a lot of people are asking.
Yeah, right, Doc?
And that's kind of what we're waiting on. More information.
Yeah, they said it would, take 2 to 3 weeks, possibly to get her, to get all the results back. Now, we do know that they have apparently released the body to her parents. So, we'll just have to play it by ear now, see what happens.
That he's at a secluded camp, but I think that there is evidence out there that could lead to him. And what I mean by that is that trip needs to be analyzed exactly where they went, which can be determined by, as you mentioned, the GPS, but also by credit card usage, by debit card usage, by pings on the cell phone. All of that could lead to answering this very question, where he went.
If his parents are home right now, it's not a crime scene, but can the FBI monitor their phones? I mean, what if he tries calling them or something? Yeah. I know there's secret stuff you can't necessarily say, but they can, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's a good question.
Okay.
Set up to Brian sometime. Yep.
I'm just gonna ask you.
So think about this, Ghost. Like what she's saying. You know, you've got the GPS on the truck, credit card, trails, pings on the phone. They've got to know where that trip was. Why is it nothing's being said about this trip?
Oh, and she brought up a good question about the now can the FBI surveil like their incoming phone calls, outgoing phone calls from the parents at this point?
Right.
That would have to be part of said warrant, signed off by a federal judge in order to get those wiretaps in place. Now, have they done that? That's a possibility that they have done that, and they're just not saying that it's been done yet.
Right. Okay, here we go.
A couple more here. Let me just get a few more. A lot of these you've already answered, so I'm just trying to get. Okay, Luis has a question.
Have you seen any of the deer cams that they think it's him? Do you think there's anything to those?
I have seen those, and quite frankly, it is.
The chat is a lot to keep up with when streaming. What did you ask there, Hillbilly?
Unequivocal.
I'm sorry. Hey, Billy.
It's possible. Every lead should be.
I've wondered this. There's so many tips coming in. I mean, from all over. Does the FBI really have the resources to go through all these tips?
Yes. They're going to be gone through. There will be agents from the entire field office.
I try to keep up with everybody, and I'm so sorry if I don't.
Helping out, and the local.
Whoops. What happened?
Lost audio.
So they have the manpower to follow up on these tips.
Hey, cute kitty.
Take time, but believe me, they're getting them, and it's blitzkrieg. They're getting out there.
Oh, I know it. Creative spirit.
So I was out at the reserve the last couple of days. It's miserable. It's like a swamp. It's awful. You would never go there to hang out at this time of year. And I feel bad for the officers because there's a lot of them out there and there's a lot of resources. And they've been out there for days.
Hey, B lady.
They're going to go back tomorrow. Do you think they know something we don't know to put that amount
Thank
of
you, Billy.
into this?
I think it would be remiss of them not to follow up to the extent.
You just addressed the question. It's okay. I was asking about.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Hillbilly.
That there must have been outside corroboration beyond Brian telling parents and parents telling law enforcement.
I hope that anyone helping him get busted. Me too, Virginia. It irks me so bad. Yep.
Okay, Donna has a question.
For the idea that they set up this search, and they do, charge for the resources of the search.
Yeah, if they knew that he wasn't there.
I have, not in my years have I ever seen families gone out, except for criminal stuff.
But not financial. Was your question financial? Okay. That's okay? Yeah. Okay.
Not that it couldn't happen, but I have not.
Okay, so.
Do you have any questions for Jennifer? She's a former FBI agent about the case.
We do have a lot of locals here, so I'm just wondering, if they want to ask them.
Oh, sorry. Can you just come a little closer to my glasses with your questions? Yeah.
We do have a lot of locals here, and we hang out in those types of areas with, it's swampy, it's muddy, and we know how to ride in them, and we know what to do.
Wish the cameraman would be a little bit better.
Do they want to ask,
I would say that they have local law enforcement officers that are in.
Hey, who's ever doing that? Stop it.
Familiar with the reserve.
Oh, Jenny, thank you.
And that's probably.
Oh, Jenny, thank you so much for the Ninja Guinea. That's so sweet. Thank you very much. You're loved.
So if they need help, they want equipment, we've got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice of you to say that. Yeah.
Okay, so I need to get out of this popsicle stand is what I need to do.
That's pretty much what we got to update right now, other than the $20,000 reward.
Yep, $20,000 reward.
Dollar
Yep.
reward right now.
Plus, I want to talk about I want to talk about John Walsh.
Have you seen trail cameras out
Oops.
there?
John Walsh.
John
Walsh.
Walsh.
Wow. That guy.
Yeah.
And I agree. And that's the biggest question right now with Brian's parents. Okay. And I'll pose this question to anybody out there in the chat. If your son or daughter were considered a missing person, would you not be out there helping on the searches? Would you not be out there in front of the camera pleading, hey, has anybody seen our son? Please contact the police. Please, help us find our son.
Thank you.
And Brian's parents, nothing. Nothing. And that tells me one thing. That tells me they're not looking for him. They know where he is. That's
right. Yep. So I want to play, let me see, let me get out of there. I want to play John Walsh's, I got to get out of this hangout that's beeping. Okay, so John Walsh, America's Most Wanted, as you know, and he was interviewed. Let me pull it up. And he was interviewed, and he is not liking this Brian Laundrie. And he's not, we've been trying to keep it real nice as far as what we say and talk about as far as the laundries go. Hey, Lulu. Hey, Megan. Hey, everybody. If I'm missing you, I'm so sorry. Ghost, I can't see your face. Is there a reason?
I was smoking a cigarette, but
okay. I thought maybe you didn't put your makeup.
I forgot to turn it back on when I got finished.
I thought maybe you didn't put your makeup on. So anyway, this is Hayes. So I'm going to commentate on this. So, here we go. And this is Gabby Petito, and this is John Walsh's take on the whole matter.
To her family a day later from Wyoming. Then she vanished. Brian, her fiance, returned home to Florida with Gabby's van. But he then immediately lawyered up and won't talk to police. He won't even help with the search for her. He was named the person of interest after police body cam footage was released. Officers have responded to a dispute between the couple in Utah.
Now look at this. This is the last known photo of Gabby. This was taken right after the Utah deal. Beautiful young lady. Beautiful.
12, nearly 2 weeks before her disappearance.
Megan, thank you so much. Hey, Greg.
I'm sorry that I'm so mean. Sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I get really frustrated. Not like one time I just I guess my vibe is like.
So now you'll see John Walsh. Florida, thank you. Megan, thank you so much for the ice creams. Look at him. He's just a little creep. Look at him. He's such a dweeb. Oh. Hiya. Thank you, honey.
Yeah, see that one, pause that for a second. Right there.
Okay.
Okay, remember you were playing that Or you showed that statement from somebody that said they had a run in with him on the 19th in Yellowstone.
Right.
It described him as having black hair.
Right.
He has no hair. He doesn't have any hair. So
yeah,
that again tells me that statement.
You're right. You're right.
Can't be right.
Yep. You're right.
So what happened? Joining me now to break down the case is someone who helped law enforcement capture.
Oh, here's John Walsh. Thank you, Joy.
50 missing children, and the host of In Pursuit with John Walsh. He joins me now. Your theory, do you think the fiance killed her, John?
They keep saying he's a person of interest. Excuse me, Jesse. I go by the old saying he's a suspect. There is no other person of interest. There is no other suspect. And I want to say one thing to his lawyer, this Steve Bertolino guy. Why don't you give him the good advice that if he has nothing over his head, that he didn't do anything, that you'll bring him in?
Oh, Jen and Eddie, thank you.
As much as the odds
Jen and Eddie.
There's a very slim chance that she's alive. But why doesn't this lawyer say, I'll bring you in now, I'll end this family and all the relatives' pain, and if you did this, we'll make a deal now. Because they're going to, if she's out there, they're going to find her body. I've worked hundreds of these cases. They're going to get
What a creep. Oh my God, that poor young girl.
So he should say, you know what, let's do the right thing. I've got two sons. If one of my sons were involved in something like this,
I don't know who's doing that, but I've got
and they're
to.
all saying, the family's saying, his family and his sister and other people, they want to see an end to this. You know, I was involved in so many cases. Drew Peterson, the guy who murdered his wife, pregnant wife. Susan Smith with the two little children. She drowned in South Carolina instead of black guy, you know, that carjacked her. I knew one thing. The first time they wouldn't do any media. The next day after they clammed up and rolled up and didn't do any media, that they were guilty. I would have taken a bullet. In the 2 weeks I was looking for my son Adam, I would have stood in New York Times Square naked and took a bullet, exchanged myself for him. This guy is dirt.
If she's your fiance and you're in love and you're on a road trip and all of a sudden she disappears, you drive home to Florida, lawyer up, and don't talk and don't help find her.
I know, I'm going to shut it off here in a second. In case he gives her parents answers. Otherwise,
thank you so much.
Yeah, John Walsh doesn't like this dude at all. At all. And,
he doesn't care for the whole family, parents included.
Right, right.
He refers to them as the dirty laundries.
Well, you know, the sad part about it is, Ghost, you know, if you've got, you and I've talked about it, you know, our kids, if we had to, you know, they would be definitely,
absolutely.
You know,
like he said, you know, if it was my granddaughter or one of my sons or daughters were missing, I'll stay naked in the middle of Times Square to get them back. You know what I mean? I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be in front of those cameras. I'm going to be out there in the woods searching myself.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
What are the laundries doing?
Not a damn
their son's
thing.
Considered a missing person right now. What have
They
they done?
aren't doing a damn thing.
They're sitting in their house watching the news.
Watching the news. Yep. They aren't doing a damn thing. I feel the same, Hillbilly. Let's see. I'm going to start looking here. Tallulah, hello. I don't know about anybody else. Let me see, Greg Man. Hillbilly. Let's see what Hillbilly says. I only want him found alive in case he gives her parents answers. Otherwise, save taxpayers money and feed him to the gators. Here's where I don't understand, guys. Is that you've got somebody out there, it's cold, it's wet. How's he drinking, eating? Okay, so you want my theory, Ghost?
Yeah.
I think the parents, I think he could be in Mexico by now. Don't know where Brian and parents went camping, but no one saw him after that. Well, they did see him when he was back, I believe, Karen. And then he took off. But here's my theory, Karen. You might be onto something here. Good to see you, Jen and Eddie. Here's my theory. They got that camper loaded with shit. They knew he was going to take off. They got him supplied up. Went and scoped out a place for him to go and stay. And I think that's what. Then what they did was they took that car with him in it, dropped him off to wherever they were going to drop him off to, went and planted the car, like you said, at the reserve, and did all of that.
Yeah.
Because right now, if he just went to meditate, he has no food, no clothing, no warmth. He hasn't been doing any fires. None whatsoever. No fires.
I think
how's he got drinking water?
I think the FBI needs to be checking into other properties that the parents may own or that the relatives may own, because look, I got family down in this area that have camps out Fish Creek that are out there they're out in the cut. And it's literally, though, you know, that's what you do. You go out next to the creek someplace, you look on Marketplace, you find an old ratted out camper that might need a little bit of work or whatever, $1,000, you pull it out there, you park it on that little piece of property, and you got a camp. You got a weekend retreat. You can just go out there, hang out, fish in the creek, be alone, whatever.
Okay, Ed, Jen and Eddie said he stole $1,000 out of her account. Let's be clear about this. It was $1,000 worth of merchandise, goods.
Well, he bought $1,000 worth of merchandise with her card. Yeah.
That's what I said. So let's be careful about that. He did not get $1,000 cash that we know of. He used it. May have been just for gas, food, returning to Florida. Yes. And we've got pictures again of him making purchases on that card. Let me pull it up so that you guys can see it again in case you missed it. So, what those purchases were yet, we do not know. We do not know what the purchases were. Right here. Right here.
I mean, I don't see a whole lot on that counter where he's paying for stuff, so it couldn't have been much.
Well, it might have been gas. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. It's probably like gas or,
yeah.
A couple of candy bars or something maybe.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. So could there have been cash on that? Could have very well been, but I don't foresee $1,000 in cash. It was more than likely just to get him the hell out of maybe a motel room. Maybe, I don't know. We don't know. Hey, Davros. Davros's birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, Davros.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Davros. Happy birthday to you. It's a lot of money to spend on a trip home, right? Well, and I wouldn't doubt it if he got maybe $20 back cash here and there. I wouldn't doubt it. $50 cash back here and there. But there was 3 different accounts. Hi, Val. Hang on a minute. Let me look that up while I'm looking it up.
You bastards. LOL. Lulu says, who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? That's right.
Davros.
That's right. So let me look it up because if I recall right, there is some more to that arrest record. And let me look it up here for you guys. I do not... whoops. Brian... I'll be right with you guys. I'm looking here real quick. Sorry. Dead air. Okay. So what I'm looking for is the rest of that arrest warrant. And there's 3 different accounts. 3 different accounts that he was using. So I need to find it. I thought I had, but let's see. Here we go. Here's the arrest warrants. There's 1. Okay. Oh, let me look it up here real quick. I think I know what I did with it.
Oh, no, Deborah, she wouldn't go sneak by today.
Okay, so here it is. For immediate release. This was on the 23rd. Okay, here it is. Sorry, guys. I'm looking.
We did the math there. Cross-country trips are expensive just in gas. Yes, we did the math on the how many miles it was, and then figured usually in most vehicles you get about 400 miles to a tank. And we divided by the number of miles by the 400 miles to tank to get 4.5 stops that he would have had to fill up. So he would have had to make 5 stops on his trip home and filled up 5 times.
Right.
Get home. And in that vehicle, it's probably going to cost you about $80 to fill that transit up each time. So there's, I mean, you might as well say with gas in each, he's spending $100 every time he fills up that vehicle. That's $500 just in gas.
Right.
Maybe a snack or drink or something, along the way. But yeah, that's $500 just in gas one way.
So I found it, but it's not. Let me see. But for some reason, it's not pulling it up here.
And I'm not sure about the gas prices out west like that. I'm just basing that on the average here is about what, 3 something a gallon?
309.
Yeah,
309 a gallon, 310 a gallon.
I know in Wyoming it's pretty high.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So depending on if the gas price is higher there, it's going to cost more money. You know what I mean?
Okay, guys. So this is the paperwork that came out. So this is the grand jury charges. You can't. This is not very clear, but from on or about August 30th. 2021, through and including on or about September 1st. So there's a timeline. August 30th, 31st, and September 1st. In this district of Wyoming and elsewhere, the defendant, Brian Christopher, knowingly and with intent to defraud, used 1 or more unauthorized access devices, which are the cards. Now, do we know if they're Gabby's yet? No, we don't know. But common sense tells us, yeah, we do. It says, namely a Capital One bank credit card or debit card ending in 8774 and a personal identification number for Capital One banking accounts ending in 0525 and I can't read that, 3665, and by such conduct obtained things of value that
aggregating to $1,000.
Yep.
Or more.
Or more during that period, which is a felony. $1,000 or more is a felony. Okay? So.
That's why it's called grand larceny.
Grand larceny, that's right. So remember, things of value aggregating to $1,000 or more. Now remember the timeline, 30th, 31st, and 1st. Remember, he was already in Florida. He was seen on a DOT camera on 1st of September. Okay, so that leaves the 30th and the 31st. I would say the 31st is when he was traveling. And that leaves the 30th. The last anybody heard from Gabby was on the 27th. That's when the last her family heard.
1,800 miles. He would have had to have left on the 30th and been driving the 30th and the 31st, both days, to make that trip. To make that, that's like 3 days worth of driving in 2 days.
Yep. So, I mean, that's the timeline that we've got going on. You know, here be Rabbit, good old Capital One. I've been in collections with them for years. Oh my gosh. So she probably passed away by then. Of course. Yes.
Yeah, they've narrowed it down to a window of 26, 27, 28 of her passing. Somewhere in there.
And, you know, hey Toodles, how's it going?
General consensus right now is the 27th, but that could change.
Well, they got in that argument, remember, on the 27th.
Yeah, that one.
With the restaurant, with the server on the 27th.
Yeah. And then 4 hours later, the video footage from that other YouTuber spotted their van in the campground, which was literally just a couple hundred yards from where her body was found.
But when did that gal pick him up? Do you remember the date on that? Does anybody remember the date the gal picked him up and he wanted to drive and then he got out? He was going to pay her $200 for a 10-minute drive. Hey, Susan. She was in the restaurant on the 27th. Yes, she was on the restaurant on the 27th. I don't remember when that gal picked him up. That gal and her boyfriend picked him up.
I thought that was I'm thinking it was like the 25th, but
no, I don't think so. Let me look and see what I can find. Let me look here real quick and see what I can find. Because I know I've got it. Like I said, I need a secretary. Okay, so
okay, August 29th.
29th.
Yep. My name is Miranda Baker, and on August 29th, my boyfriend and I picked up Brian at Grand Teton National Park at 5:30 at night.
Hello, Lorley. So,
Here, let me share this with you.
Okay.
There's what you had sent me.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so on the 29th is when, and remember she said he was acting weird and he wanted a ride?
I'm hoping this can help someone identify him because I saw him from TikTok, which then made me call the authorities, and my boyfriend and I have been in contact with a bunch of different people to help Pence. I believe that's supposed to be pieced together. Help piece together different parts of this case. But we picked him up at Coulter Bay, like I said, at 5:30. He approached us asking us for a ride because he needed to go to Jackson. Now, remember, he said he needed to go to Jackson.
Right.
This is what's like weird about this letter. Now, remember that. Which we were going to Jackson that night. So I said, hop in. And he hopped in the back of my Jeep. We then proceeded to make small talk, but before he came in the car, he offered to pay us like $200 to give him a ride, like 10 miles. So that was kind of weird. He then told us he's been camping for multiple days without his fiancée. He did say he had a fiancée and that she was working on their social media page back at their van. Then once in conversation, I brought up, we're going to Jackson. He freaked out. He's like, nope, I need to get out right now. Pull over. So we pulled over at the Jackson Dam, which I don't know if you know where Teton Park, but it's not very far from Filter Bay. And and if this does reach people, I can post pictures of exactly where we were and where we picked him up, which they have done, and the whole route and screenshots and timestamp. We dropped off at 6:09 p.m. on August 29th. He kind of hurried out of the car and then was like, I'm just going to find someone else and go hitchhike. And we were like, okay. It was weird. It was a weird situation. So when we picked him up, he was wearing a backpack, long sleeve pants, hiking boots, and he had scruff, but he didn't look dirty. For someone who was camping for multiple days, he didn't look dirty. He didn't smell dirty. So that part was kind of weird.
That was on the 29th, Karen.
And there you go.
Yeah. So the 29th, we know he was hitchhiking, right?
Why would he ask to go to Jackson? And then when somebody says we're going to Jackson, him freak out and get out there and be like,
I know, right?
Jackson. That didn't make any sense to me in that letter or in that statement.
So, okay, so the 29th he was hitchhiking. The 30th, 31st, and the 1st he was driving, right?
Yes.
And the last they saw Gabby was on the 27th in that restaurant.
Right.
Oh, good assumption. Karen said, I think he was going to leave the van with dead Gabby. And he freaked out. Then he decided to take the van back. Could be thinking. Good thinking, Karen.
We won't know that until this case goes to fruition, if they catch him or, I don't know.
Well, I want to find out how far Colton Bay to where Gabby was found. I want to pull up a map. Yeah, we need to pull up a map and look at the distance, because that's kind of weird that he would want to ride to Colton Bay and then Jackson.
Right.
Something isn't right.
Well, he didn't ask for a ride to Colton Bay. That's where they picked him up at.
Okay. All right. So anyway.
How did he get to Colton Bay from Teton National Park? And how far away is it?
That's why I kind of want to look at a map. We'll have to look at that tomorrow.
What was he doing at Colter Bay in the first place after the fact? I just maybe he went there to pick up food for the both of them, or maybe I don't know. Who knows?
Well, of course, Here Be Rabbit said, I think he's probably dead in Tijuana. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm kind of leaning towards Uber's theory that if the parents and him took a trip after he got back on the 1st, I think you're right. I think they could have went and found a place for him to lie low, stocked it while they were camping, given him all the amenities that he needed, whether it be tents or sleeping bags or whatever, get him everything he needed.
Yeah.
Hole up for like a month if he needed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then went back home, took the Mustang, parked it at that Park told the FBI, said, well, he told us he was going into this place to meditate. Oh, you found his car there? Well, good. You know?
Davros, shame on you.
I think his parents helped stage that whole thing. I think the FBI is looking in the wrong place.
Yep, me too. Doesn't the Appalachian Trail go to Canada? Yes, Haya, it does. Okay, everybody. Well, we're going to call it a night. I'm going to go cook me a steak for dinner is what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
Brian, I hope you're starving.
I know JoJo's supposed to be going live here sometime tonight, I thought. I don't know if she still is or not, but.
All right.
Everybody go over there.
Well.
Raider. Or Uber Raid.
Yeah. Yeah. Davros, me? Hey, listen, everybody. Yeah, go over and check out JoJo if she's going to go live. I don't know. But if not, tomorrow is game night for Davros. Check out Davros.
Davros is not doing game night this week. He's got his daughter's wedding.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. We're not doing game night this week. Yep.
I mean, unless he gets home early enough to do it, he said he might. I don't know, but that's up to him.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But until then, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I want to thank everybody for the lemons and the donations. Really means a lot. And yes, and we'll keep up on this. We're going to be working on a few other things. Ghost, tell us about the tornado or the hurricanes possibly, huh?
Hurricane Sam is out in the Atlantic right now. It's up to a Category 2 hurricane and strengthening fast. It is making a beeline for Bermuda. Forecast outlooks have it hanging a right and going back out to sea and staying far enough offshore of the East Coast that it wouldn't be a threat to the U.S. However, some of the spaghetti projections have it going across Cuba and off into the Gulf. Some of them have them coming up and riding the coastline close to the States, enough to where it could be damaging going up the coast. So right now, we don't know which direction it's going to go. We have to keep an eye on it. It's going to be the next 2 days are going to be critical as to figuring out which direction it's going to head, what it's going to do, and we're keeping an eye on it, tracking that situation, and we'll keep you posted. If it's going to be a bad situation, we'll be going live with it and let you do it.
Yeah, and then we're going to also, we've got a paranormal situation, which we're working on. Ghost has been sending me a few things about paranormal stuff. So we're going to be...
sent you that story. I thought it was comical myself.
I thought it was comical too.
It wasn't a very long story or in-depth or anything. I just It
was good. It was snarky. Good. So anyway, we're going to keep up with this. Tomorrow is a free day for me, so I should be able to keep up on this. And I appreciate you watching that today and keeping up on it, Ghost.
Yeah, not a problem. I know I got some things I got to do tomorrow. It got cold here last night. It got real cold. I had to turn on the heater in my room last night.
Really?
It was that cold here. And I'm like, honey, your next day off, we're going to have to go to the laundromat and get out king-size comforters and get them washed and get them ready to go on the bed, right? So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to head to the laundromat and do all the comforters and
there you go.
All that stuff and get that done, get ready for winter.
Yeah. But we want to thank everybody for coming in. Over there on YouTube, over here on D-Live. We really appreciate it. And, we're just trying to make you guys enjoy it. Nice tender steak and potatoes. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have a steak tonight, but I do have a potato I could bake. Yeah, Anyway. Well, Ghost, what do you say tonight? Say goodnight, Ghost.
Later, Ghost.